Yo, what up, man? Chris on my checking in, man. Back with the blog, man. Make sure that like button and subscribe on your way, and I appreciate all the support. Salute to everybody. Hope you guys, had a good Memorial Day weekend, man. I don't know when y'all gonna get this blog, maybe on Monday, but salute to everybody. Hope you guys had a good weekend. We've been getting a lot of feedback on the Briz blog. Make sure you check that out if you haven't checked that out. Right now, it's probably at 13,000 views right now. Check that out if you haven't. Definitely drop some jewels in there, letting y'all know what's going on with Briz. Obviously, Briz didn't like it, but it is what it is. Last thing I'm going to say before I close this Briz chapter is, there was a lot of talk about Briz, not missing the whole caffeine era. But I wanted to remind people in that blog that Briz actually was booked during the caffeine era. Here, Summer Madness 10, when it was originally booked, it was actually booked on caffeine. See caffeine right there. Briz obviously backed out of the battle. I don't know if it was because of a death in the family. I don't know if it's because he felt Mook had more time. I don't know if he felt like, I don't know what he felt. I honestly have never heard Briz speak on it. I've never heard him do an interview and say, this is why I did not do the Mook battle at Summer Madness 10. I've heard blogger shit behind the scenes. I heard from a few of his homeboys. I've heard a lot of stuff. I've never heard Briz actually give a detailed response on why he did not do the battle. So this battle was booked. Obviously, caffeine is involved. Obviously, people are selling tickets, doing pay-per-views, everything. Mook is the kind of person where if he doesn't do a battle, he's not going to carry the deposit to the next battle or whatever. His next battle was Reed Dollars, by the way. He's not going to carry that over. He's like, URL is just going to have to eat that deposit if Briz don't do the battle. And, they was doing billboards, all kind of stuff. And unfortunately, Briz backed out. Since then, I know for a fact, like I said, Briz did not make $100,000 to do this battle. So at some point in time, whatever it is you negotiated, you were okay with, and it was not anywhere close to $100,000. I know that for a fact. So since then, Briz prices went up and up and up. And I don't really know how you can agree to a price. Not a whole lot has changed. You didn't really battle and up your stock. You know what I'm saying? Mook only got better. Not a lot changed for you to want probably 150% increase in your price. You could probably think that probably Briz got anywhere between $25,000 and $50,000 for this battle. How do we get to $100,000? I'm just saying. So for me, I feel like it's ridiculous that he's even asking for this, to be real with you. I think he's trying to use his absence has created more of an argument for the battle, and he's trying to, I don't know, it just doesn't really make sense to me. So that's another reason why I think it's ridiculous. It's like, you're the reason why the battle didn't go on in the first place, and somehow you think what you want damn near triple, quadruple the money that you agreed to already. It's just ridiculous, bro. That's all I'm gonna say on that. I know Piper Boy responded, and he talked about a GoFundMe.
An interview with ARP price to come back. I don't want to hear no, we got to negotiate it. That's like running from, it's clear that Briz is running from battling, right? But somebody asked, what is your price? He says his price, start a GoFundMe. A lot of y'all donated to the champion of the year and all of that stuff, right? I've never seen anything in battle rap to where people may donate for a battle that they may want to see, right?
He was basically talking about a GoFundMe to see if you could garner any money for this particular battle. And if the battle still didn't go down, you put the money towards another battle. I think right now, nobody's going to donate to Briz. It's just his attitude, everything. I think people are kind of over it. I'm not really against a GoFundMe for a battle. You know what I'm saying? Like Daylight and Lux. That was probably worth a GoFundMe if we keeping it real. Like I know a lot of people wanted to see that battle. The battle was through the roof. URL without a crazy sponsor could really afford it. So if there was a way to come up with some money to where you can offset that a little bit, I wouldn't have been particularly mad at that. But I think the Briz thing, I think that chapter is closed. I think right now it's probably the last year that we will be on the when is Briz coming back to battle rap kind of thing or whatever. I think 2026 is where it ends. Eazy the Block Captain. He's back, man. You know what I'm saying? Eazy is back. He got the ring right here with AVE. Kiss the ring, never bow down. Kiss the Ring. Now, Eazy changed this. You know what I'm saying? It was Kiss the Ring. Then it was no, where is that? Then it was no Kiss the Ring. Then it was Kiss the Ring. Then it was no Kiss the Ring. So he pretty much changed that, edited that part out, redid the flyer. You might as well have just stood on business, Eazy. I got to keep it real with you. You might as well have just stood on business, man. Smack said Kiss the Ring. You should have just said your whole card is never bow down, Kiss the Ring. I don't know why he took the Kiss the Ring part off on the new flyers, but he should have just stood on it. You know, the internet is undefeated. Nothing is ever deleted. So at the end of the day, if that's how you felt at the time, you should have just stood on that shit. You know what I'm saying? As far as this particular title, Never Bow Down, Kiss the Ring. As far as this in particular, let me get to it. I do feel like this closes the chapter of Eazy battling on URL. I think this right here. I think the blog he did. I think the Kiss the Ring comment from Smack. I think the blog he did. I think the double down that Smack did on the interview that he did with the M3S3 dudes. And I think Eazy naming his flyer, Never Bow Down, Kiss the Ring, I think it closes the chapter. I think whatever it would have took for URL and Eazy to get on the same page, I just think egos have killed it. Now, I'm really disappointed in that. I got to be real with you. I've been very adamant about wanting to see Eazy and Rock and Eazy and Surf. I don't really know if those battles will ever go down. It's very disappointing. I feel like those are the kind of battles that can save battle rap and kind of get it back on the right path. There's not a lot of big battles. There's not a lot of big battles that are actually grudge matches. And this is one of them. And I think Eazy going back to URL for those two battles at least, it's kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like a full circle moment in my opinion. I think it's one of them things that would have definitely been down for the history book. So for me, I wanted to see the battle happen. But I think the little ticky-tack back and forth shit between Eazy and Smack with the Kiss the Ring, with the flyers and all this kind of stuff. He basically told Smack, fuck you on his live. I think it kind of like kills that. I think this shit is over with. And then you end up with stuff like Surf and Rock considering battling each other, which a lot of people don't want to see either. And I got to be real with you. I don't think... There's been a lot of people asking me what's up with Surf and Rock. Like, what's their relationship like? You know, you haven't really seen a lot of them publicly. They're not really tweeting each other for the most part. There's no interviews together. I know Surf might be doing things with his family. I get that. I know, but it's just nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's not really a lot of back and forth rapport right now. People have been wondering if y'all want to battle each other, what's the relationship like? I don't really know. I do know that Rock really hasn't. I did look and see when the last time Rock tweeted something about Surf. It was basically kind of around the same time Surf did that live. Since then, I haven't seen much from Rock on Twitter regarding gun titles or even anything about Surf. I do realize Surf tweeted Rock on his birthday, you know, happy birthday or whatever. So I don't think it's any bad blood, but my spidey senses tingling, man. You know what I'm saying? I was hearing a couple things. I don't think Rock was too crazy about Surf doing that live with Eazy. I was on record. I said I don't think that made Rock look that well, him doing that live. You know, Rock right now, his Twitter name is URL Tribal Chief. I think he's been kind of like holding URL down, been the guy that's like, yo, this is my league. I'm making sure shit is ran right over here. And he's been kind of like, yo, let Eazy stay over there. Fuck Eazy. I don't want to battle Eazy. I don't want to get money with Eazy. I don't want to do anything with Eazy. It's URL over here, and we don't need him over here. And then in one live, Surf comes home and basically gives Eazy a lot of credit. He said, if you go back and listen to that live, he basically said that Eazy was doing pretty good out here. He had his ups and downs, but he was doing pretty good. He was, you know, there were some things that he could have got better at that they were teaching him with gun titles and everything. But for the most part, he been out here doing his thing. He did admit Eazy had a couple hiccups and stuff like that. He had a couple of little rim references in there. But he did say pretty much that he could get Eazy back on URL. I know Rock probably didn't want to hear that because Rock has been like, fuck that nigga, let him stay over there with Chrome. There is no more Chrome, so let him stay over there with Trenches. For Surf to come home and just be like, yeah, I can get a nigga back over there. And even as much as to say that he damn near was acting like he would battle Eazy. Eazy was like, yo, you gotta see me. You know you gotta see me. You know what's up. You know you gotta see me. He didn't shut that shit down. He basically, only thing he shut down was that he did not want to battle Mav. Everybody else was on the table, and he even went as far as to say, why would I battle Mav when I can battle A-Ward, I can battle Mook, I can battle Eazy, and I can battle Rock. These are things he said. So he didn't close the door on the Eazy thing. And I think if you rock and you wake up and you watch that live, you like, yo, what the fuck? Why you giving this nigga some shine? This corny ass nigga, this bum ass nigga. These are all things Rock would say. So I can only imagine he probably didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it would have been nice if you would have had a whole little gun title reunion on the live. You would have got in there and saw Chest in there rubbing shoulders a little bit, Rock in there rubbing shoulders a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even, you know, whoever, URL niggas coming there talking. The first live he does is really Eazy, Mook, and A-Ward that was able to get Surf's attention. So at the end of the day, that's kind of like all of that still makes Eazy look like he's still one of them niggas. And Rock is not in the business of making sure Eazy looks like he's one of them niggas. But if Surf can come home and in his very first live, his first live is with Eazy the Block Captain, Eazy will always look like one of them niggas, bro. So that cannot sit well with Rock, and I don't think it sat well with Rock, which is why I'm not that surprised that they might have wanted to battle. I know they talked about doing a battle before, but I mean, for you to come home and Rock is your first battle, you know what I'm saying? I just don't think people want to see that. I don't think that's going to happen now. I do think URL is probably trying to put the Mook battle together. Whether it'll happen, I don't know. I think Surf is still in Michigan and all this kind of stuff, so we'll see what happens with that. But let me get back to this. As far as the Eazy versus Eazy versus AVE, Dre Majesty versus KD, Lee L&D versus Reggie P, Baby James versus Cuban, D-Rain versus Diablo, June 28th in Tennessee. Tennessee is kind of like a crazy spot to do a card. I think one of the sponsors or one of the people that, you know, I think the sponsor that maybe might have helped with the John and Cassidy battle, I think he might live in Tennessee. I don't know. I think Eazy got a business with some dude or whatever that be helping out with battles. He's in Tennessee. But Eazy the Block Captain and AVE is a battle that has also been sponsored by Frank White. So salute to Frank White for putting some money. I don't know which one he put money behind, maybe AVE or somebody, but there's been a lot of talk whether or not the battle will be blocked. I can assure you that this battle will not be blocked. You know, if you know your history, AVE had already battled on Chrome. He battled Official. And URL tried to block that. And AVE stood tall, did the battle, and battled on Chrome. So I don't really see AVE allowing himself to be blocked. And let's be real, bro. URL still ain't paid AVE for the fucking twerk battle. So, I mean, I don't really know why he would be trying to be loyal to URL at this point for that. As far as the card, I'm not mad at the card. I'm not mad, you know what I'm saying? I know Eazy jumped on this joint to give it a little bit more oomph to it, but I actually like the battles. I like Cuban. I like, you know, Reggie P is from Bullpen. Dre Majesty versus KD would be a good battle. D-Rain and Diablo, that's a female battle I don't know much about. But Eazy versus AVE is a very interesting battle that AVE could win. I'm not going to predict that he'll win this battle. I don't really think he will win this battle. I think Eazy is the better battler. I saw AVE just battle Vixen not too long ago. He also battled Kid Slade recently. AVE is good. Always high risk, you know, low reward. You know what I'm saying? But AVE is always capable of beating niggas. But I think when you go, I don't know if this is in Nashville or whatever, Cashville, Nashville. I don't really know where it's at, but I just feel like Eazy just going to be able to go down there and talk that shit. He just talk his shit better than AVE talk his shit. And to me, them punchlines at the punchlines at the punchlines, I don't think it's going to be enough, bro. I got Eazy winning this battle, to be real with you. But as far as everybody else, I'm not really sure. I've never seen Baby James battle. I don't want to give too much of an opinion on that. Dre Majesty versus KD is going to be dope. But get your tickets, man. guttercity.com if you want to support. And June 28th in Tennessee, let me know who you got winning this battle. Eazy the Block Captain versus AVE. Who do you have winning the battle? Going down on trenches June 28th, man. Holla at your boy.
G2 is the third and last At A14, meet X20.